Okay, we've got no GoPro on today, so it's just the screen recording. But, yep, we're in the 390 to 510 race. I think that's the category. And there's four of us in the race. We've got Sham, Cash, me, and Adam. And the legs just weren't feeling it today. I've been out on the weekend riding, so I think 6 or 7 days on the trot for some Zwift races. So it was a tough old slog, but I can't say no when the lads say they want to have a race. I'm always up for it. Yep, nice. Well, it's supposed to be a nice, easy lead into the climb, but the group's putting the pressure on here. So we are just trying to stick with it, do whatever we can to stick with it, and just make it to the base of the climb with the pack, and hopefully I can drag myself up with a few of this group. There's 74 in the race, and I know I'm going to end up somewhere towards the back. The legs are just absolutely shot. So yeah, so let's get to the bottom of the climb. Okay, so we're pretty much at the base of the climb here. Trying to up the power just a tiny bit on this little bit of a downhill before the climb, just to move up a few places. Otherwise, I'm just going to drop off pretty quick. And surprisingly, we start the climb, and I'm trying to hold four and a bit. And if we look over to what the group's doing as a pack, they're 3.8, 4.2, somewhere around there. So at the moment, I'm thinking, okay, I can kind of sustain this, and we're already at an average of 3.25 watt kg for the race so far. Nice easy lead in to the climb, holding steady somewhere in the middle. We've got Sham just ahead. I think Cash has already shot off ahead. No, actually, he's behind me at the moment. He's going to come flying past in a second. There he is. Yeah, as he starts throwing the power down just to stay with the front group. I'm pretty settled where I am here. I know I'm going to move backwards a little bit. Okay, we're up to 3.4 as an average, pretty much for the race so far. 4 minutes in. And now the real climbing is about to start. Okay, we're at 10%. Gradient 11%. It's kind of good, the GoPro isn't Wasn't on today because I was puffing out of every hole going. And I don't know why or how, what Cash was doing, but he's back in 50th place with me at the moment. Sham's up ahead in 20th, and then Cash and Adam are pretty much around where I am. So we're slogging our way up this 11-12% gradient, the dark red. Heart rate's not too bad at the moment, so I think we're maybe halfway up this climb. Holding steady at 4ish watt kilo, or coming up to 3.6 average for the race so far. I need to just keep trying to stay attached to this little pack in front. I don't know what I was even thinking. I think I was just trying to ride within myself and not blow up. I was pretty much seated for the whole time of this climb, but actually the cadence shows I'm at 70s, so probably I was standing. And then we're coming up to Sham just ahead of me. Basically used him as my marker the whole way then. I was trying not to let him get too far ahead. He's a strong rider. Cash has jumped a few seconds ahead, 6 seconds ahead. Adam's 14 behind. So my aim was stick with Sham, see how I get on, and just ride it out from there. And if you look at the map in the top right, the pack is very spread out. A long train of riders. I think I end up in the second or third pack, but we'll get onto that as we move through the race. So it's always good when you can see the peak of the climb coming in that little graphic in the centre at the top of the screen, and helps motivation a little bit just to get over, just to get to the top. So I know there's a couple of people around me that we can draft together and work together on the way down. Again, motivation just to stick with the few people and not be on your own on the way down, because you just lose so much when you haven't got 400 watts of draft to sit behind somebody. Yeah, you can super tuck, but it's just not as effective. So there's a good kind of 4, 5, 6 riders up ahead, a couple behind me. And all I'm thinking is stay in this pack, let's work together, and again, target, stick with Sham. That's working out okay so far. A couple of guys coming from behind, they're doing a bit over 4 watts a kilo. I'm in the 3.6, 3.7s, so I've got to just crest this climb with a decent amount of power. It's only 5 watts of draft you're getting up here, so although it's something and it's psychologically something to hold on to, all the work is you basically. Okay, we're up. Now it's just try and tag onto this guy ahead, make sure he doesn't get away, and then we've got a couple more riders. There's loads of little single riders, so everything we can just to create a little group, get a little bit of speed up, and heart rate at 177, so I'm not in the mood to chase anything down too far. As long as there's 3 riders together, we'll have a higher speed going down the descent, just to catch up with a few of these riders. And Sham's feeling brave here, so he's putting 6 watts a kilo down for just to get hold of the next rider as well. He's got the right thought in there, and I don't want to lose these guys, so let's keep that draft going. Can't even remember when I used my anvil, but it would be good if we use them at different times, just to get that speed up and keep everybody moving at a good pace. Right, the descent's coming now. 3.5 average for the race so far, and it's time to have a little bit of respite. Time to regather the thoughts, try not to cry, and sit behind these lads and have 45 seconds to catch my breath. So, yep, that good deployment of the anvil, and the lads putting a bit of pressure on as well, keeping the pace up, meant that we've been able to catch up with these 2 riders ahead. Still a little bit halfway down the descent, so saw some more free speed come in, and then keeping an eye on the right hand side where we've got the next little bunch of riders. Well, there's a single rider 15 seconds ahead. He's got a nice super tuck going, he's going slightly quicker than us, and then a couple of riders ahead of him as well, 17 seconds ahead. So there's a few to target, a few riders behind us keeping the pace on, 5 riders doing 2.5 watts a kilo down the climb, so they're aiming to catch back up as well. We're doing good here. Heart rate's come back down to around 150, and if you look at that draft gauge, see I'm still getting over 300 watts of free draft here, so I'm literally turning the legs just to take some of the lactic out, not to actually do any real work, just turning over the legs here. Okay, we're at the bottom of the descent. Now it's just a case of staying with these. We got a little group, 14 seconds or so behind. Trying to give this little group a bit of encouragement with the messages on the side, telling them, okay, we can do this, we've got to catch that group in front. There's 3 riders ahead, 18 seconds, and we've got a few riders 6 and 12 seconds behind. The ones they're both putting in more work than us. So it's on one hand not great, but on the other hand, okay, if they do catch us, then we've got a bigger group. And I think Adam's in one of them groups behind us because he's in 53rd place, 16 seconds behind. So and they do end up catching us. So we do take it fairly easy. Going up the stairs here, put a bit of power down. Nice 7.5 watts kilo. And it's always good, as soon as you get to the top, don't let off, just another second or two just to build that speed up, and then you're not under so much pressure at the back of the group trying to move forward. The guys behind me now, they're still doing 4 watts kilo trying to get back on. All these little tactics, little bits of Zwift racing gameplay. Now a nice flat section really. Nobody puts in any mega work. We have one guy that this R Bullock. He drags us along pretty nicely. I don't even know what flag that is. Is it Poland? White and red. But yeah, he's putting some power down, and I tried not to let him get away really, because I want to keep the group moving at a good pace. So I move forward here just to make sure he doesn't get away, and we keep that draft going. Otherwise we'll all just end up doing 2.4, 2.3 watts kilo and just get absolutely hammered by the guys behind. So we're keeping this guy in close contact, and a few of that group behind us, 14 seconds behind now, and yep, Adam's in that group. So we're trying to, and at this point I didn't even realise that's where he was. I only realised as soon as he started getting to within, I don't know, about 5 seconds, and I thought, okay, well, it'd be nice if we have another 10 riders with us now. front of the pack starts chasing down a couple of riders ahead, so we've got to just make sure we stay attached. Put a little bit of power down just to move forward a little bit. You've always got to be thinking slightly ahead, otherwise that's 2 or 3 seconds opened up between where the front of the group is here and where I was at the back. Very easy just to have a little breakaway group or fall off the back of the pack. And Sham's done the right thing there and done exactly the same and moved forward with me. Guys behind are 10, 11 seconds behind now. So we've got 9 of us now, and yeah, we're moving along at a decent pace. My heart rate's in a reasonable position, 160 summits, fairly high, but I'm comfortable-ish about now. Just trying to prepare for the next climb because it's pretty much flat for the rest of this. So that little pack behind us of 11 riders, they are putting the hammer down. 5 or 6 seconds behind us now, 4 seconds, doing 3.3, 3.5 watts a kilo, just they can smell us, they can see us, and they are chasing it down. But I mean, this is good for me, I mean good for the group, because it keeps us moving at a decent pace, and I just pick the power up a little bit. One, because the front of the group's moving fairly quick, but also as this group behind comes past, they're normally going a fair bit quicker. And again, it's very easy just to get dropped at the back of the group. So you want to try and move at their pace rather than at your group's pace. Yeah, we've got a nice bunch of 18 of us now, and we're chasing down this guy a couple of seconds ahead. So that'll be 19, and that big group ahead of us is 50 seconds ahead, and there's 18 of them, but they're at 50 seconds ahead. There's no way we're closing that down, but if we can close down a couple of riders in between, happy days. For some reason Adam just starts dropping back here. He's the guy that's just dropped off the screen, red jersey, and I didn't realise at the time, but then looked back and saw he was a couple of seconds off the pack. I think he had a problem with his gears or something. He was trying to mess with some settings in Zwift for the next climb coming up, and totally messed his gearing up, and I think he said he was stuck in the same gear then for the remainder of the race. But as soon as I realised, I thought he was just dying. Obviously not. He's a strong rider. And then he starts coming back. Yeah, a couple of seconds behind the pack. And when you don't have draft, even just holding this kind of speed, so I dropped to the back of the pack with just enough draft, and there he comes, just so he had a little bit, and then we're both back on without too much stress. Right, couple of kilometres away now from the base of the climb again. Again, fairly flat. I think we go down some stairs or just a little descent, nothing much. Past Big Ben. Is that Big Ben? I don't even know. Alright, here we go. It's just about survival now. We're at 2.89 watts a kilo, so nothing crazy and fairly well recovered. 2.8 kilometers to go, and this climb's fairly steady the whole way up, so it's just a case of trying to stay pretty in touch with the front of this pack. I was feeling okay, and the fact that Sham was with me, alongside me the whole way, made it that little bit easier, because there's that motivation just to stay together. So the group's splitting up a fair bit. I'm still fairly close to the front of my little pack. I'm from being in 50th place up to 35th, 36th now as Sham comes past. He's strategically used his feather at a very good time. I tried to put a little bit of power down to stay with him, but then absolutely crashed. Almost gave up trying to with the power going down to like 1 watt a kilo there for a second as I stood up and instantly sat back down. So then he's got 3 or 4 seconds on us straight away, and I needed these guys to come past me just for that psychological edge of having 3 or 4 watts of draft in front of me and a marker. Yeah, Sham's what, 6 or 7 seconds ahead. I think we bring him down to about 3 seconds as we go around the next bend. There we go. So we're coming up to the next corner, and yeah, I'm in 40th here, and then Sham's put a little bit of power down, 4 watts a kilo, but then he drops to a little bit under 3, and I'm like, okay, he's fading, so I'm picking it up, and I can see him there, but then he starts to throw down again. He's realised as well, only half a kilometre to go, and I'm catching, so he's gone straight back to 5 watts a kilo. Yeah, he just starts throwing it down here. I'm just doing everything I can just to stick with this person ahead of me. At this point, 185 heart rate, 4 watts a kilo or 3.5, whatever I'm doing is more than enough. And Sham's still got some fight in him to try and beat that guy ahead of him. It was a good race, a good effort, and not a bad time of under 40 minutes. Or under 39 minutes actually. I think it was 38, 30-ish. So yeah, good race. 38:34, solid time. And Cash was done about 2 minutes ago or something at the front of the race with these guys. Solid effort. Thanks for watching.